Hey guys, Shadowz here, welcome back to another Gears of War E-Day video. Today we're going to be discussing new characters teased in the Gears of War E-Day story. The Gears of War E-Day trailer revealed by the Coalition Studio at the Xbox Game Showcase included many details from the story narrative lore, references to Easter eggs, which we did cover in depth in my trailer breakdown. If you haven't seen it, go watch that video. On Emergence Day, a time of what was supposed to be peace on planet Serra, shortly after the end of the Pendulum Wars, chaos erupts in a planetary invasion that sees the fearsome Locust make themselves known. With a brutal ambush from below against the world of Serra, the Locust Horde are mysterious, formidable and overwhelming, an unforeseen horror that Marcus Fenix and Dom Santiago and the rest of humanity on Serra must learn to deal with before it's too late. As Marcus teeters on the edge in a fierce close quarters battle with the Locust, he swiftly outsmarts the drone by planting the Lancer into the wall, disengaging the bayonet and downing his foe with a kill shot. While Marcus was looking for a weapon from the environment early on in the grapple with the Locust drone, before coming across and connecting with the television, there were several hidden in plain sight Easter eggs referencing at least two new characters that could be teased for the Gears of War E-Day story. Firstly, to begin with, we have the Augustus Cole character teased, as on the desk there is a flashball alongside a statue of Hanover Cougars number 83, the Cole Train, which is actually based on a Gears of War statue replica by NECA that was released in 2011. Before the events of the original Gears of War trilogy and the COD Geass soldier veteran that we know and love, on Emergence Day, Cole was still a flashball star, two-time MVP and championship ring player, who was being driven across Centennial Bridge by his driver Joseph, tuning into their radios as emergency news announced that Janamon was attacked by grey monsters that would emerge from underground and kill everyone in sight. Cole, leaving his limousine and telling Joseph to find his family and keep them safe, headed to a corner electric store to figure out what was happening and began watching the breaking news in the display windows along with dozens of other Hanover locals. Traffic cameras from the city of Janamon an hour earlier revealed monsters emerging from sinkholes and attacking everyone in what would become later known as E-Day, the day of the Locust Horde emergence, with billions dead and 25% of the entire world human population on Serra wiped out. Now, while we know Marcus and Dom don't meet Colt and Baird, with Delta Squad not forming till 14 years later after E-Day in the events of the original Gears game, Gears of War E-Day could feature this very moment with an Augustus Cole Train cameo, as we witness alongside Cole, the other Hanover locals, and the rest of humanity across planet Serra react to Emergence Day and the outcome of the horrorsome Locust Horde invading the surface from the Hollows. Next up, after the Cole Train flashball statue, we get to see at first what could just be a COD Geass soldier with a gold retro lancer. However, I do believe this is also another teaser for the Carmine's characters. As we know, the Carmine family were a large human family deeply rooted in the Coalition Order government, where military service was simply an expectation and an honor to serve as a COD Geass in the military army on the front lines of the battlefield. While the four Carmine brothers would have been too young on Emergence Day to be COD Geass and merely lucky young child survivors of E-Day, of course, every Gears game has featured a new Carmine character, and so if Gears of War E-Day's story campaign is being described by the Coalition Studio as a game of many origins, then why not include the origins of the Carmine's family by showcasing the mother and father Carmine elders with the story of what happened to the parents of the four Carmine brothers. We know based on Benjamin Carmine's death speech inside the Destroyer Riftworm in Gears of War 2, as Ben mentioned to Marcus, asking him to tell his brothers and his mum that he loved them, handing over a handwritten letter, that the fate of the Carmine's brother's mother was alive, but what about the father, who could end up being the new Carmine character in Gears of War E-Day, but also the beginning of the Carmine family curse in the war effort against the Locust Horde. Moving on, during the Gears of War E-Day official trailer, there was a COG newspaper spotted early on which depicted the breaking news story of the UIR surrenders in the Pendulum War, a 79-year human conflict for planetary control of emotion between the Coalition Order governments and the Union of Independent Republics, highlighting the war is over. That thanks to a Blur game developer who also worked on the E-Day trailer props, did share some high-resolution assets, as the newspaper also teases Adam Fenix in Gears of War E-Day. As you can see on screen in a higher detail close-up of the COG newspaper being the Kelowna Times Afternoon Extra Special Edition, it does list the weather along with a complete victory parade coverage above the main headlining story of UIR surrenders, war is over, the Pendulum Wars heavy toll examined, to then on the right side, more importantly for this video, the mention of Adam Fenix's peace dividend, featuring a picture of Marcus's father, Professor Adam Fenix, with of course a mention based on the fact that it was Adam's creation of the Hammer of Dawn, a satellite orbital laser-based space weapon that ended the Pendulum Wars and forced the UIR to surrender to a COG victory. Adam Fenix being in contact with Queen Mirror, knowing the existence of the Locust Horde and their emergence before E-Day, will play a huge role and appear in the Gears of War E-Day story, as Marcus will likely contact his father Adam after their first encounter with the Locust Horde and ask for advice for what to do next and what is going to feel like the end of the world. Lastly, during an interview with Windows Central and the Coruscant Studio developers on the Gears of War E-Day story, Jez Corden just went outright and asked, is RAAM going to show up? In which the Coruscant's creative director Matt Cersei and brand director Nicole Fawcett simply replied, "We're not really answering story questions right now," the duo said, exchanging smirks. Urzul RAAM plays a huge pivotal role as general of the Locust Horde on Emergence Day, leading the swift, full-scale, coordinated planet-wide assault on the surface of Serra against humanity and all of the cogs and UR's major cities. General RAAM, accompanied by Scourge, led the first Locust attack on Emergence Day against Janamon, initially beginning by attacking the Janamon army base, targeting it for being one of the COG's major army barracks, as well as also all of the resources and technology that it could acquire from being victorious. He then later moved on with the rest of the Locust Horde as they began slaughtering civilians and moving on into the city. While Gears of War E-Day is focusing on Emergence Day, with Marcus and Dom being in the city of Kelowna and General RAAM is in the city of Janamon at the beginning of the Locust Horde emergence. The Coruscant Studio developers had confirmed that Gears of War E-Day will be taking place over several days, not only of course focusing on the events of E-Day, but also several days afterwards, meaning that we could see General RAAM also make a cameo depending on the story direction Gears of War E-Day decides to go in. Overall, for me personally, I do believe Gears of War E-Day being set 14 years before the events of the original Gears of War trilogy does mean that a majority of fan favorite and beloved characters that we did see in other Gears of War games could make a cameo and appearance in somehow, whether that be big or small. It's going to be interesting to see who the Coruscant decides to also include alongside Marcus Fenix and Dom Santiago, and what will easily be the ultimate fan service Gears of War fans have been dreaming about since the Gears franchise began almost 20 years ago. I'm also going to be doing a Gears of War E-Day story lore series focusing on covering every character's story on E-Day that we do know of so far to enhance and get everyone ready to experience Emergence Day, as we do take the fight to the Locust Horde from the very beginning of the Locust War in the origins of the Catalyst event that is the heart of the Gears of War universe. Please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me what you think. Which Gears of War characters do you think are going to appear in Gears of War E-Day's campaign story? Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you do enjoy my Gears of War content and want to see even more videos, there is a playlist on my YouTube channel containing all of my other Gears of War E-Day videos so far. If you do want to check out more like this one, click the join button to become a YouTube channel member to gain access to emotes, channel badges, and most importantly, early access to all new videos before anyone else. I want to give a big shout out to all of the members on screen for becoming a Shadow Knight YouTube channel member. I truly appreciate your support. So there you have it guys, full details on Gears of War E-Day's story, including Augustus Cole, Adam Fenix, General RAAM, and Carmine's characters teased. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're already. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I shall see you in the next one.